name is Adalynn. Of course, you guys already know that. I know, much lower camera angle than usual. That was actually entirely by accident. And the movie I'm going to be reviewing for this Slashback Saturday is not going to be playing behind me. It's just going to be this setup. Sorry, but I don't want to get copyrighted again, just in case. So, it is Slashback Saturday, once again, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. So, this week's theme was legendary slashers. It has to be a horror movie with a legend involved. The slasher movie I chose, which is actually the first time I have actually seen this movie, and this is the start of the most requested horror franchise that has ever been given to me on this channel. Hatchet! So Hatchet tells the story of this swamp area called, I can't quite remember the name. Well, it's not really specifically called anything in the first movie. I'll have to remember. Honey Island Swamp, I think is the name. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't remember. But basically these people go on a haunted swamp tour with this guy who is clearly a fake voodoo guy and clearly doesn't know what he's doing. So they end up crashing, the boat sinks, and they're stranded in the swamp with the legendary Victor Crowley, played by the man, the legend, Kane Hodder. Yeah, that's basically the story of the movie. So let's go ahead and get on with the review. So a lot of slasher fans see this movie as a back-to-basics 80s style horror movie. This movie was released in 2006. It was written by Adam Green, who actually wrote like the Pamela tapes and the Tommy Jarvis tapes of the Friday the 13th video game, which is awesome. I love the dialogue in those, by the way, but they're really good. It's really good. But like, he's written a lot of horror movies and screenplays and stuff, and he directed this movie to go back to basics. And a lot of people love this movie so much. They love this movie. Me, however, I don't think so. I don't love this movie, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and say right now to all of you big Hatchet fans, I don't love this movie. I am really sorry. Then again, this is the only Hatchet film I've seen, so I actually cannot wait to see the sequels because Daniel Harris is in them, so anything with Daniel Harris in it is bound to be great, right? I hope so. But there are things I really like about this movie. There are actually things I love about the first Hatchet movie. Let's get to those positives. Positive number 1, the blood, the gore, and the violence. The violence is out of the world. It is over the top, but it is really cool. I love the gore in this movie. Like, most of it is realistic. Some of it's kind of not realistic and like Final Destination style, but the kills are really good in this movie. I'm not going to show any of them because they're really graphic, and I am not getting an age restriction on this. So I'm not going to show the kills. You could just look them up on YouTube or if you want, or just watch the freaking movie. But yeah, the kills are awesome. The kills are really, really good, and I really like them. Positive number 2, the two main characters, Ben and Mary Beth Dunstan, are really good characters. Yes, Ben is played by Norm from the highest grossing movie of all time, Avatar, which came out 3 years later. I do not know what he is doing in this movie, but he still does a really good job. He's a really good male character, and yeah, he's quirky and he's a shy person, but he and Mary Beth like kind of bond throughout the movie, even though Mary Beth's like, I don't know, I didn't come here to make friends or anything. I came to find my brother and father, but they do bond by the very end, so at least that's cool. But they're really good characters. And Marcus, the black guy in the movie, he is actually a really freaking hilarious character. And also, the elderly couple in the movie, the male, Jim, I think is his name, he was in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He played the security guard in the opening 20 minutes, which is really cool. And apparently he's also in Texas Chainsaw 3D. He plays the landlord, which is pretty cool. So yeah, he's been in a lot of horror movies too. So that's really cool. And yeah, there is a lot of horror alumni in there. You got Robert Englund in the opening scene. There's a certain character, Joshua Leonard, who's also in the opening scene. He plays Ainsley. He actually played Josh in the Blair Witch Project. He was in the Blair Witch Project, and he's in this movie, which is pretty cool. If you guys don't like the Blair Witch Project, that's fine. I personally think it's a really good horror movie. I thought it was pretty scary. It had way too much cursing. Like, There were literally F words every 5 seconds. But still, I thought it was a great movie. But yeah, there's a lot of horror alumni in there. You got Candyman himself in this movie as a cameo. I think he plays a much bigger role in the sequels. I think so, which is pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of horror alumni in there, but specifically the main characters, Mary Beth and Ben, are really good characters. Positive number 3, I love the legend of Victor Crowley in this movie. This would be a mix between Victor Crowley himself and the legend of Victor Crowley. We're going to start with Victor Crowley himself. I love Kane Hodder in this movie as Victor Crowley. He also plays his dad, but he is really cool in this movie. I do have a problem with this character that we'll get to in my negatives, but overall, he's a really violent killer who is he's violent. He's just violent. And the legend of Victor Crowley is basically he was this deformed child. He's basically kind of Jason Voorhees, which is ironic because Kane Hodder played Jason Voorhees in Fridays Part 7 through Jason X, which is cool. But he was really disfigured, even more disfigured than Jason was as a child. And his father kept him hidden away in this cabin in the woods. The local kids tormented him and picked on him a lot. And eventually they accidentally set his house on fire, and while his dad was chopping down the door to save him, he buried the hatchet in his own son's head. And apparently nowadays, if you go to the Honey Island Swamps, apparently that's the name, but you still hear Victor Crowley crying for his dad every night, which is pretty creepy. And that actually does happen in this movie, which is really even more creepy. But I love Victor Crowley in this movie. One problem I do have we'll get to. And I love the legend of Victor Crowley. There's nothing wrong with the legend. Positive number 4, I really like the ending of this movie. The ending is one of the only final jump scares in horror history where I'm like, okay, that was really cool. Let's go to the next film. You're just like, all right, that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else in this movie falls flat on its face. Let's get to those. Firstly, some of the jokes fall flat on their faces. Some of the jokes I'm just like, meh. Some of the humor's like, that's not that good. But I don't think there were any jokes that were flat out cringy in this movie. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed negative for me. It's not a full-on negative, but that's basically the first one. I just had to get that out of the way. Negative number 2, some of the characters I don't like in this movie, the blonde character in this movie. I'm not going to go too specific with her and her female companion in this movie and this director. I'm not going to go too in depth. You guys know what I'm talking about, but the blonde is terribly acted. She is so annoying. The second she was introduced on screen, I wanted her to die. I was just like, she is one of the most annoying characters in modern horror films. I'm just like, what is this? Whenever she's on screen, she's running around and crying. I'm just like, please, what the freaking heck? Why are you crying so much? I'm just like, she was annoying. I did not like her in this movie. I wanted her to die the second when she was on screen. It's kind of unsatisfying that she gets decapitated off screen. She gets killed off screen, and your female companion gets her jaw cut off on screen. And I'm just like, you really could not have killed her on screen. That would have been a lot better. Negative number 3. There are a lot of times when the victims are running away from Victor Crowley and they stop 30 seconds later. They're just like, oh man, that was scary. Wait, are we still in danger? They literally stopped for 2.5 minutes. I'm just like, he is chasing you. Why are you stopping? I would be running for the freaking hills. I would literally be running, okay? I would be running for my life. Why are you stopping? That is literally really freaking dumb. Why are you doing that? And negative number 4, and I'll get out of here. I hate the look of Victor Crowley in this movie. He looks retarded, okay? He looks pathetic in this movie. I can almost compare it to Jason's look in Friday Part 8. He looks a little better in this movie, but I almost compare him to that because he looks horrible. I hate his face, and I hate the way he looks. And unfortunately, it doesn't get better as the films go on. And I'm just like, why does he look like that? Why? Why does he look like that? I'm just like, I'm seriously like, why? I want to know why he looks like that. Seriously, why does he look like that? It's really stupid. Overall, guys, Hatchet is good. It's good. That's pretty much all I can say. I'll recommend this movie to anyone who wants to see a gore fest. This is a gore fest. If you are gore hounds, you're gonna like that. So, but any of you guys that are looking for a really decent story, no, skip this movie. So, yeah, but most of my subscribers are slasher fans, so you will probably enjoy this movie if you've never seen it. So, I'm gonna give it an only see it if you want to see it. Like the same grade I gave to my review Nightmare 4 earlier today. I'm gonna give it an only see it if you want to see it, because it's not a great film. It's not a horror classic. This movie is actually kind of overrated for me. So, if you guys love the first Hatchet movie, I'm sorry I disappointed you. So what do you guys think of the first Hatchet movie, if you have seen it? Let me know in the comments below. Do you love this movie like I have heard a lot of people say? Do you think it's mixed, you're like, nah, or do you think it's horrible? So, yeah, let me know. So, yeah, that was Slashback Saturday. So, this week's theme, the horror man has given us, is musical slashers. I cannot find a freaking musical slasher. Give me recommendations. Joe, come on. Come on. Come on, give me horror recommendations. Give me freaking recommendations for musical slashers, because I tried to look some up today. There was one I really wanted to do, but it's not a slasher movie. And I have you to blame for that. So, yeah, but I challenge all of you people, along with Joe, to do a musical slasher film. So, that'd be pretty cool. So, also with that, be looking forward to my review of A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, coming out in a few days. So yeah, now that school is finally out for me, that's freaking awesome. So you guys get to have more videos from me. So once again, I'm Adalynn. This is Adelynn's Horror World, of course. You guys already know that. I love all you guys to death. And until next time,